So far in this video series, we've already covered everything you absolutely need to know to develop the skills necessary to manifest your desires into physical reality. And yet, there's still one question left. How can we develop these skills quickly? Because in ancient times, the only way that people knew to develop the ability to manifest their desires into reality was through a process of meditation. And they would meditate for hours a day after day after day, for decades, in order to develop these abilities. And while that process does work, most of us don't want to invest a couple of decades to develop the ability to manifest our desires. And so we look for quicker and better ways to develop these skills. A lot of the last 20 years, I have spent looking for faster and better ways to develop our skills of manifesting. The very first course that I wrote back in 2003 simplified the process that I went through and described it as a 24-week course. And while I was writing it, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, I can see 24 steps leading through this process. But I felt that many of those steps needed a lot more than just 1 week in order to be effective. And so that was my first attempt at teaching a process of development to get that manifesting ability. There were a lot of people that had good results using that course. And in fact, some of the exercises in the first 5 or 6 lessons really helped people make some amazing breakthroughs. However, we're always looking for better. So I continue to write new courses. I continue to try different ways of approaching this process of development, looking for ways to simplify it further and further and further and get better results in a shorter amount of time. I will admit that there were a couple of programs that I developed that were probably a little too simple. There was one in particular where I created what was essentially an hour-long hypnosis program, thinking that this could potentially replace everything else. And I did get a few people to try it out, and they did report some positive results. But the results that people experienced from just pure hypnosis alone were not as good as what people were getting from some of the other courses. And so I kind of set that program off to the side and continued working with other programs. To bring all of this to the shortest story I can possibly bring it into, through the last 20 years, I have found that what has worked best is a combination approach where we approach the development of manifesting skills on 3 different levels. On a conscious level, on a subconscious level, and on a mid-level that is both conscious and subconscious. And what this actually means in practice is that when we combine hypnosis to address the subconscious mind directly, and then add on to that guided meditation exercises, very specific ones, which bridge the conscious and subconscious minds and get them working together, that sets up a foundation where we can start doing self-directed exercises where we are fully awake and alert and be able to employ the subconscious mind with our conscious mind to make things happen. So by using this 3-level approach, we get a fuller, richer, more effective form of training. I've also found that besides the three main factors of faith, focus, and feeling that are necessary to make manifesting work, especially when your beliefs do not already support the thing that you would like to manifest, in addition to these three factors, there are a number of other factors which also help develop the ability to manifest whatever you want in life and do so reliably. Some of these factors include self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. Do you believe yourself worthy of having the things that you want? That's one of those factors. Self-confidence is very closely related to faith, so I'm not really going to list that as a separate factor, but it is part of that. There is a factor of, do you feel and believe yourself to have the power to create the changes that you want in life? That feeling of power is one of the significant supporting factors in this whole manifestation matrix. There's a factor about, do you feel connected with the world around you? Because that feeling of connection helps that manifestation process work. I think I mentioned earlier before, and if I didn't, I will now, that one of the limiting factors that I had when I first started was that I did not see how a thought inside my mind could possibly influence the world around me. I just could not understand that. I could not believe that that type of connection was actually there and could actually work. Once I accepted that idea as a belief, as a truth of reality, then I was able to get much better results from my manifesting efforts. And so this idea of being connected to the world around you is one of those factors that you really want to develop as part of your growth into manifestation mastery. So that's another factor. There's a few other factors that I don't really need to get into right now. I just want you to understand that there are a variety of things that we want to address when we are growing as a manifester, becoming a master of manifesting. And when we address these various factors on the three levels of mind, conscious mind, subconscious mind, and a mid-mind, which bridges both conscious and subconscious, gets them working together. When we have all of these things working together in these different areas, that helps the development process go so much quicker than it ever used to before. It's a organized system of development. And in some ways I call, or I describe, let me rephrase that. In some ways I describe this process of development like cross-training for athletes. Because an athlete will obviously practice the sport that they engage in, the sport that they play. And the more they play that sport, the better they get. But yet there are other things they can do, like jumping rope, lifting weights, running. Playing a different sport can sometimes help improve their abilities in the primary sport. This type of cross-training helps them develop even higher levels of ability in their primary sport. A musician will obviously play music to develop their ability to play music, but they will also play scales, which is not necessarily music, but it is a way of exercising their skills, their fingers, their armature of the mouth if they're doing a wind instrument. There are different exercises they can do with the instrument that is not necessarily playing music that helps them play better music. And obviously there are other exercises. I know when I used to take guitar lessons, I would try exercising my hands with one of those hand exercisers that you squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Well, that did help me be able to play notes on the guitar. So this type of cross-training is part of the program that I currently teach on my website. And again, I mentioned at the first part of this video series, I'm not here to actually sell you anything. However, I do want you to be aware of the options that are available to you. I've already given you some basic exercises that you can use completely for free to develop your abilities to manifest. However, if you really do want to take it further, I do have a program on my website, powerkeyspub.com is the website, the Divine Dynamics program. This program was developed with this idea that I'm calling harmonic augmentation. And the harmonic augmentation, it's all about organizing your development on conscious mind, subconscious mind, with the three primary factors of faith, focus, and feeling, plus the supplemental factors that are heavily involved in manifesting what you want. And pulling all of this together into a 13-week program. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted you to know what harmonic augmentation is and how it can speed up the process of your developing the abilities to master the art and science of manifesting. Working with conscious minds, subconscious minds together, hypnosis programs, guided meditations, self-directed exercises for the three main factors, plus the supplementals. If you want to try it on your own, you're welcome to it. I've just given you the basic outline of what you need for that. You're welcome to try it on your own. Or if you want to make it simple, I have a program completely already prepared that will lead you step by step through the development process and help you reach a level of mastery in just 13 short weeks. In my next video, I will describe that Divine Dynamics program, what it is, how it works, and how you can use it to accomplish your goals in the field of manifesting. For that video, I'm going to go to my office and I'll be at my desk and I'll walk you through the website where you'll find this program, where you'll be able to use this program and introduce you to what may be the turning point in your manifesting mastery development. So I'll see you in that next video. Until then, be blessed, my friend.